which begins in seconds.
This is SportsCenter.
73 going once. Barry's Record Center going twice. Sold live on SportsCenter. What will the price be for famous number 73? We have all the possessions, prized or not, that have hit the open market. The NBA opens up its draft market. Who will be this year's surprise pick? And speaking of surprises, the ACC goes to Plan B. Or is it C? Things start to get just a little hokey. Sammy takes a swing at the Ivy.
Some wanker in the crowd changes the whole match, and you allow it to happen. Well done. Well done, well done.
Things heat up for Roddick on his road to a major. And LaVar Arrington avoid the heat of the Budweiser Hot Seat. Make a bid on SportsCenter right now. Hi there, welcome to SportsCenter with Matt Weiner. I'm Scott Van Pelt. You should always bring your glove to the game because you just never know.
That's right. You, too, might catch history, land in litigation, and eventually auction off your prize for hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Or more.
Or maybe not. Barry Bonds' 73rd home run ball is in New York tonight. We'll bring you the live auction momentarily. But first, Dana Jacobson documents its journey from Barry's bat all the way to the Big Apple.
October 7th, 2001, the final day of the regular season, one that will forever be remembered in baseball history.
Bonds hits one, high in the air, deep to right field. Look out in the Covey Cove. Bonds has number 73.
Bonds' historic shot was just the start of the season.
Dana, thank you. Given the bitterness of their feud initially, it's hard to fathom that these two guys could actually and eventually come together.
But nothing quite like giant piles of cash unites those.
That always works, doesn't it?
Yeah. Mark McGwire's 70th home run ball, you may recall, went for nearly $3 million. We're expecting something in the $1 million range tonight. Jeremy Schaap is our master of ceremonies tonight in New York. Jeremy.
Well, Matt, as you said, it would have been hard to believe a few months ago that these two gentlemen would be standing in such close proximity, but thanks to the courts, they are going to sell this ball together and then split the proceeds. Let's start with the man who had the ball first, Alex Popov. Alex, how do you feel about the way this was resolved?
Well, Patrick and I both had an opportunity to think about it, and we could have appealed it, either one of us, and it was nice to come together and talk about this and find out that we're great baseball fans. We went to the same college. This was the best thing to do for the baseball. Barry Bonds is the greatest player that ever played the game, and to be a part of this significant milestone is terrific.
Patrick, the auction now only about half an hour away. What are your thoughts about losing the ball tonight?
Well, I think it's going to be hard, but, you know, Alex and I spent some time with it and had some friends and family come over and take some photos with it, so that was really nice. I really thought that was a great time. And, you know, the court did say that, you know, we should sell the ball and split the proceeds, and that's what we're doing. And we're just hoping that the purchaser of this baseball does something positive for baseball and maybe tours the country with it.
The bidding is already up to $200,000. How much money are you expecting tonight for the ball to go for?
Well, I'm expecting it to be fairly high. I mean, people have talked about 6-figure, 7-figure numbers, and we'll see. I mean, that's the excitement of this auction process, is that you got a live crowd here, you have a full packed house here, and it's going to be exciting.
Alex, how much money do you think we're talking about tonight?
I think it might set a record. If you look at who Barry Bonds is and what he's done, 500 club, he just established that 2 nights ago. He surpassed 600 home runs. He has a great chance at Hank Aaron's number. With this home run record, I think the purchaser is going to own a piece of history that will actually go up in value as Barry Bonds achieves more milestones in the future.
Todd McFarlane is one of the bidders. Of course, he is the man who bid more than $3 million for McGwire's 70th home run ball. He took that ball and toured around the country. How would you like to see this ball? Where would you like to see it?
Well, I think that was a great example of what a good compromise for all around. Even though the ball was put up for auction, people may have complained that, well, maybe it should went into the Baseball Hall of Fame, but in reality, what Todd McFarlane did with it was great. He toured it around the nation. A lot more people saw it because not everybody has a chance to go to the Baseball Hall of Fame. So I think it was actually beneficial in that case for everybody.
Alex, what do you plan to do with your share of the proceeds?
Well, I'm just going to enjoy a little bit of the town tonight. You know, it's been a great week here, and you know, think about it and start working on the book. You know, that's the next chapter of this whole thing, is to put together the book and talk about the whole experience and really share some of the inside stories about this whole wonderful experience.
From the book and then a movie and a few documentaries. That's it from here. Patrick Hayashi, Alex Popov will be back for the bidding later in the show.
Jeremy, thanks. Matt and I pulled our money. We got $83. Ain't gonna get it done. Some other famous home run balls. Mark McGwire's 70th went for $2.7 million. Todd McFarlane got that in the auction, as Jeremy and the gentleman mentioned just a moment ago. Mickey Mantle's 500th home run, hit back in 1967, was sold for somewhere between $250,000 and $300,000 at a private auction. Ah, the good old days. 1961, Roger Maris hit his 61st home run. After the game, bus driver Sal Durante, Coney Island teen, offered the ball to Maris for free. We live in a different age. Maris gave him $5 instead for the ball. And in 1931, Babe Ruth hit his 600th home run. And Ruth bought the ball from a fan for $10.
Wow.
And a new baseball.
Well, joining us now from Dallas is the aforementioned Todd McFarlane, the creator of the Spawn comic book series, owner of some of the most famous baseballs in the world, and one of the bidders this evening. Todd, thanks for being with us. You heard moments ago one of the current owners say he believes this Bonds ball could set a record. Well, you're the guy who has that record. What do you think?
I don't think so. I don't think the story for this home run chase was nearly as sexy as the one in 1998 when the two people, McGwire and Sosa, you know, we all got caught up into it, and the story spilled out from the sports page out into the, you know, the front of the news, and, you know, they were leading off news stations with the update of that race, where 3 years later the record Bonds broke, who's not really the most likable character if you listen to the media, happened a few weeks after the September 11th attack. I don't think we were focused on it nearly as much as we were that first time.
What is your strategy tonight as you start this auction?
Well, first off, let them know I'm in the room so that hopefully they'll all get nervous and not bid so I can get it cheap. But, you know, just pay attention to what's going on in the room. And I've got a bit of a live feed here so I can see how many hands are going up. And, I mean, I've got a value in my head that I can make work, you know, which is a little bit different and less than I could with the McGwire ball. And we'll just take it from there. It's going to happen very quickly, just like the McGwire ball. I mean, once they start the bidding, it goes as fast as you might think, so it only lasts maybe 3 or 5 minutes.
I suppose you'll play it by ear to some extent, but do you have an absolute limit in mind beyond which you won't spend any more?
Well, you know what? I did last time, and I actually exceeded it. So, you know, having the number and writing it down and promising people you won't go buy it doesn't necessarily stop you from getting caught up into it.
You own 10 baseballs from that 1998 race between Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, and you spent a ton of money doing it. Right. I guess my question is, why? Why spend all this money on baseballs?
Well, you know, a couple reasons. I mean, the easy one is as a sports fan, and, you know, just sort of cool to have it. But I run a couple big companies, and we lead a pretty good life, and I have literally thousands, if not millions, of people supporting my product. And so I thought this would be a fun way to be able to grab something that most people knew about at this time. Traveled around the country for 3 years, free of charge. I never charged anybody to come and see any of it. And just a way of me saying thank you for people making my life fairly comfortable and giving me a good living. And, you know, it also helps opening up, you know, leverage to parlay into getting into meetings where they'll maybe take you a little more seriously when you say you've got money to back up a sports venture.
And what item out there among sports memorabilia do you covet that has not yet been up for sale?
The Stanley Cup. As a Canadian, who wouldn't want to own the Stanley Cup?
I don't think that's going to be up for sale, but good luck with Barry Bonds' 73rd ball tonight. We'll be watching.
Okay, thanks.
Well, Tiger Woods worth millions now, but how much do you think he was worth back when he was just a Cub? Or maybe a card with his likeness. Sammy swinging for the Ivy. And the Expos and the Pirates in day baseball action. We'll bring you the pictures of these ball games. Speaking of the Spos, is Juan gone? The latest episode of Trading Places. Or maybe not. Plus, with the draft 24 hours away, who might be trading up to improve their position in the draft? Don't move. SportsCenter heading right back.
My wallet. My credit card was in it.
You did have a Capital One no hassle card, right?
No.
Relax. Who's gonna find it out here?
Whether your card is lost or stolen, with a Capital One no hassle card, you're not liable for a penny. Plus, you get the nation's lowest fixed rates.
What's in your wallet?
In 1935, Foxwood Farm started with one horse and a truck. The horse was a thoroughbred. The truck, a Chevy Suburban. Today, they have a few more horses, but there's still only one truck. Chevy Suburban, the highest-ranked full-size sport utility vehicle in initial quality by J.D. Power and Associates. Another reason why it's the best Suburban yet. Chevy Suburban, like a rock.
Doesn't Miller Lite taste great? Less filling!
Wait. What about this? Doesn't Miller Lite taste great? Great taste! Great taste!
Less filling!
Great taste!
Less filling! Less filling!
What do you think about that? That's art.
Tell it over a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
I've got an idea.
SportsCenter, brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Ben Sheets looking to move his career mark versus the Cubs to 7-0. Moises Alou gonna go ahead and walk his dogs and represent Ronnie Woo Woo to the fullest. 456 feet. Cubs, woo! Alou, woo! But then, Antonio Alfonseca to Keith Osick, and what happens here is that Richie Sexton ties the game because Alfonseca could not hurry over in time, so we're even up at 5s. Top 8 now, game even at 5. Mark Guthrie to Jeff Jenkins, and Jenkins, who had a monster day, 3 for 6 and 4 RBIs, brings in EY from third. Brewers take a 6-5 lead. We move to the bottom of the 9th now. Score even at 6. Luis Vizcaíno pitching to Sammy Sosa. 2 on, 2 out. Sosa, who struck out in the 8th, strikes out in the 9th. We go to extras. In the 10th, Brooks Kieschnick. Remember him?
Yeah.
He pounds one out there into right, and they have no concept of the value because they'd have chucked it back on the street anyway. Jenkins had a home run, and the Brewers get 6 in the 10th.
Juan Gonzalez isn't yet an ex-Ranger or ex-Po, but neither has he explicitly rejected the deal Montreal made to acquire him yesterday, thanks to a no-trade clause in his contract. The two-time American League MVP has until Saturday to formally accept or block the deal. Juan Gon's attorney says his client will likely stay in Texas, which is where Expos general manager Omar Minaya is today, trying to convince him otherwise. Juan Gon not in the Texas lineup tonight, and not yet in Montreal, where the Expos are trying to sweep the Pirates. Game delayed for 47 minutes due to a power outage. And speaking of power problems, Juan Gonzalez, well, they could use the power from him. Ron Callaway playing right field today, and Gonzalez 12 more homers, 26 more RBIs than Callaway this season. So he would fit in nicely, you would think. Top 6, Jeff Rebele against Javier Vasquez.
Rebele is a power hitter.
Speaking of power, High, deep, gone, all those things. He was 4 of 5 on the day. That's just his first of the season, though.
Just waiting to bust out.
Pirates up 3-1. Bottom 6, Brad Wilkerson against Kip Wells. Grounds it to second. Rebel 8, well, how many times do you see it? A guy hits a home run and turns around and makes an error in the next highlight?
Oh, well.
Wilkerson, 0 after the cycle yesterday. 4-3 Pirates. Jason Kendall singles in Abraham Nunez, making a 5-3 game. They would take a 6-3 lead, and then Callaway steps up with a man on. Ron gone. Juan who? 7th of the year. Expos cut the lead to 6-5. He was 2 for 4. Now 2 outs. Williams against Edward Guzman with runners in the corners. That's your last out. Pirates escape the sweep. They win at 6-5.
In what can only be described as a mystifying move, the ACC, the Atlantic Coast Conference, by a vote of 7-2, has offered invitations to 2, not 3 schools. Syracuse and Boston College, originally considered to be part of the Big East exodus, are not. Instead, Miami of Florida and Virginia Tech have been invited to join the ACC. That combination, which was never even publicly discussed as a possibility, would leave the ACC with 11 teams, 1 short of the minimum of 12, which is required by the NCAA to hold a conference championship football game, which is why the whole thing started in the first place. Andy Katz in New York City getting geared up for the NBA draft on Thursday night joins us now for more on the ACC story. And Andy, I haven't spoken to a soul within the ACC who sees this as anything other than an embarrassment, the way this whole situation is played out. How'd the ACC get from Miami, BC, and Syracuse on May the 13th to Miami and Virginia Tech last night?
Well, it was a way to get Virginia's vote. They had to get 7 of the 9 members to vote for this, and Virginia was not going to vote if Virginia Tech was not included. That's the way they got to this. That's why Virginia and Miami are in from the ACC side, and Boston College and Syracuse are out.
Do you think that the ACC is done? Because right now they have 11. They could go to the NCAA to petition for a conference championship football game with only 11. But are they done?
Assuming Miami and Virginia Tech accept these invitations, and every indication is that more than likely they will, then they're done for now. They're done for the 2005-06 season because they need to obviously let things settle. There's a legal issue that certainly still needs to be quelled. But you can't say that they're done for the long term. They still could go to 12. They still could revisit Syracuse and Boston College. Maybe not now, maybe not within a year, but possibly within the next 2 years.
Okay, so Virginia Tech and Miami, you say if they accept, are there any landmines out there that the ACC could step on down the road with those 2 schools?
Well, both schools are deliberating on the issues this afternoon, and Virginia Tech meeting with the ACC. The sources I've spoke with have told me that Virginia Tech is expected to accept that invitation. Certainly from a non-revenue perspective, it's a slam dunk. For a majority of the ACC teams, it's within driving distance for them. For Miami, it's a matter of whether or not they want to go to the conference that won't have a championship game, at least won't guarantee one, and that does not have Northeast schools like Syracuse and Boston College for their alumni. However, there's bad blood between Miami and the Big East, so more than likely Miami is expected to accept the invitation.
Awfully ironic for Virginia Tech, considering they were part of that lawsuit among the Big East schools against the ACC. Then they got the bid. Now they're prepared to accept. Last thought, Andy, where does this leave the Big East?
Big East is going to go after Louisville initially, but they're going to have to go after more. That means Cincinnati, East Carolina, Central Florida, South Florida will all be on the docket from the football side. And if they want to go to 16 teams overall, they may look at Marquette and Xavier as basketball schools.
Andy Katz in New York City. We look forward to seeing you Thursday as we approach the NBA draft.
Thank you, Scott.
And Scott and Andy, this just into SportsCenter. Miami Athletic Director Paul D saying tonight he'll need a few days to consider the invitation. Also went on to say he's not up for any scenario in which the ACC invites only Miami and Virginia Tech. Stay tuned. Coming up here on SportsCenter, the latest on a former ACC star's condition as Jay Williams continues his recovery in Chicago. Plus, back to New York City.
Coming up later in SportsCenter, the bidding begins. Here at the ESPN Zone in Times Square, someone will emerge with the 73rd home run ball that Barry Bonds hit in 2001.
You won't believe what Pizza Hut's got for you now.
Hey, here's your pizza. With all dogs go to heaven, too. Dog meets dog, dog loses dog. I give it 2 paws up.
I concur. The DVD is yours to keep when you buy a large Pizza Hut pizza at regular price. Choose from 4, count them 4, comedy classics, and spend the night in Ha Ha Land.
Wow, Mr. Mom with Martin Mull. Whatever happened to that guy?
He got hungry.
Pizza Hut Pizza and a DVD on us. You only get it when you gather around the good stuff.
People, this is James Carvey here to talk to you about Infone. Take a listen.
Hello, this is Infone.
Hello, Infone.
Hello, Mr. Carville. How can we help you?
How much does it cost for you to find me some phone numbers?
89 cents.
What if I asked you for driving directions and movie times or to make a restaurant reservation for me?
Nothing extra, just 89 cents, sir.
What if you connected me to my Uncle Lloyd in Louisiana and we had a 15-minute debate on which of my cousins makes the best gumbo?
89 cents, and after the first 15 minutes, it's just 5 cents a minute.
Oh, now that's some kind of good.
The summer's hottest block party is on. Kick it on Friday nights with host Mos Def for sports and more. ESPN 2's Block Party, presented by Dodge. Friday at 7.
Some people drive just to get from point A to point B. These guys, well, they were looking to get someplace else. That place where it all comes together. A place we call Point D. And we help them get there. We're Dunlop, makers of European performance tires for over 100 years. Dunlop, get to Point D.
Call 1-866-DUNLOP-1 for a Bell tire near you.
Well, it's about time.
I forgot the ketchup. I had to go back.
Yeah, there's some of ours. White Castle. We're always open.
We only worry because we love them. You.
White Castle. What you crave. Get a sack of 10 cheeseburgers for a great price.
Times Square, crossroads of the world, and guys who have been making names around the world. LeBron, Carmelo, and Darko ready for their NBA homes. Young men like Bosch and Heinrich waiting to find out where they will call home. The 2003 NBA Draft to answer questions Thursday night here in the theater at Madison Square Garden. Mike Tirico joined by Tom Tolbert, Greg Anthony, and Jay Billis, all of our basketball guys, ready to talk a lot of draft as we get ready for 5 hours of coverage on Thursday night. First things first, we pretty much know 1, 2, and 3, and although there won't be a lot of suspense when the Akron to Cleveland 40-mile journey is made official for LeBron James from high school to the Cavaliers, there still will be an exciting moment, and same true for Darko Milicic, 18-year-old Serbian at 7'1", to be added to the 50-win roster of the Detroit Pistons. And then at number 3, Carmelo Anthony, who played his first game just next door here at Madison Square Garden and made a big impact and led Syracuse to the national championship, likely bound for the Denver Nuggets. And then we get to the questions in all likelihood. If the first 3 are givens, then what happens at number 4 with Toronto becomes the intrigue around all 29 NBA teams, thus what we call the hot spot in the draft. Let's bring in our NBA reporter, David Aldridge, up on the balcony. David, has Toronto been getting calls, and do they want to keep or trade that number 4 pick?
Well, Mike, I think they want to trade the pick, but the problem is that they want you to take veteran players also. And with the luxury tax kicking in, teams just aren't willing to do that. Miami has the same problem with Eddie Jones and Brian Grant. As one GM told me today, if Brian Grant were 6'10", I'd take his contract, but he's not, so I'm not taking his contract. So that leaves Miami and Toronto with 2 decisions. Toronto at 4 probably has to decide between Bosch and Chris Kaman. Miami at 5 probably has to decide between Kaman and TJ Ford. So those are the 2 decisions those teams are going to have to make.
All right, there are a ton of pre-draft day rumors with picks, high school kids, veterans. Most of them don't stick. What rumors out there are the most active, maybe the most likely of teams who want to make a deal?
Well, I think Seattle wants to move some of their centers. You know, they have 3 centers, each of which are making a lot of money. They like to get rid of some of those guys. Again, a few takers at this point. But then you always hear about Portland. Portland's always able to make a deal. I hear that they have talked to teams about Rasheed Wallace, who's in the last year of his contract at $16 million. And then I've also heard in the last couple of days that they have had at least preliminary discussions with Denver about a deal involving Marcus Camby. That would give Portland a shot blocker. It would give Denver even more cap room to go after guys like Gilbert Arenas.
All right, David, we will all see these moves work around picks in the draft, and I think it needs to ask the big picture question, Jay Billis. How deep, how strong is the 2003 draft?
Mike, I think it's probably the deepest draft we've seen in the last 7 or 8 years. A lot of teams in the first round are going to have an opportunity to get a really good player, but ultimately I think this draft is going to be judged on the top 3 players, and that is James, Milicic, and Anthony. All guys worthy of being the #1 overall pick, but I do think this draft is about potential, which is fraught with peril. You have to choose wisely.
Greg, a lot of that potential, the international players, people don't know their names at home. How strong an impact will these guys make?
Well, they'll have an impact, and they may not know their name for a few more years because a lot of these guys who will be selected may not come over for a few years. They're going to be going to quality basketball teams later in that first round who already have their rosters, for the most part, pretty set.
Tom, what teams out there can make themselves markedly better when the close of business on Thursday night gets here?
Well, first of all, I got to say, Portland's going to make a trade. Shocker. Things have been running so smoothly up there for the better part of a decade. Detroit, obviously. You go to the Eastern Conference Finals, you win 50 games, you get the #2 pick. I think Chicago's in a real nice position. I think Curry and Chandler are progressing. Remember, these guys are young. You got to give them 4 years to see what they're going to be like. Rose, Jamal Crawford, I think they're in a good position. Then Orlando and Boston. I think this draft may have 4 or 5 point guards, and if one of those teams gets one of those point guards, I think they could make a run for their money in the Eastern Conference.
Boston, like Seattle, has a couple of first-round picks. The rumors will continue till the picking starts, and it'll continue after that as well. 7 Eastern is when it begins on Thursday. We know these guys are set for the next step.
I am ready.
All right, guys, thank you. More surgery for injured Bulls guard Jay Williams as he recovers from last week's motorcycle accident. The Chicago Tribune reports Williams underwent a second procedure yesterday on his fractured pelvis and faces several more surgeries to repair his left knee. According to the paper, Williams may be able to receive visits from his Chicago teammates finally for the first time on Friday. The Bulls expect the former Duke star to miss at least next season as he recovers. Still to come on SportsCenter, Barry Bonds has hit over 600 home runs, but one stands out more than the rest. Number 73 auctioned off live when we return. Plus, what would you pay for the ball that went through the legs of Bill Buckner? Or the gum Luis Gonzalez spits out? The top sports memorabilia items ever. NFL players are known for their hard-hitting ways, but there's no way out when one of them gets put to the test on the Budweiser Hot Seat. Plus, can Andy Roddick pass his test across the pond? Full coverage of his match and more from Wimbledon straight ahead.
This is SportsCenter on ESPN.
If you want a watery taste from Amstel Light, you'll have to do this. Amstel Light, the beer drinkers like beer.
Hell yeah.
Rated PG-13. Opens Friday.
You know what you never see in car commercials? Real cars. Cars that have been around the block a few times. The kinds of cars that need Castrol GTX high mileage. Specially engineered to protect against oil burn-off better than other leading motor oils. Castrol GTX high mileage. It helps older cars feel young again.
Ready for another light beer?
Yeah. Other light beers have their place. We just don't recommend drinking them. Amstel Light, the beer drinkers' light beer.
ESPN HD, the big picture in sports. Available nationwide. Call 1-800-DIRECTV or your cable operator today. Sponsored exclusively by Philips and Best Buy.
Gentlemen's side of the draw at Wimbledon. Roddick, Rusetsky. These two, some of the hardest servers in all the world. Roddick with a backhand there. They played for over an hour before anyone faced a break point. That was in the first set tiebreak. First 2 sets went 7-6. Third set, Roddick down 5-2 in the near court. Listen, someone calls a point out. Roddick ultimately won the point. Rusetsky had a few words for the chair up.
Wanker in the crowd changed the whole match, and then you allow it to happen.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
He was angry. Someone in the crowd yelled out. It wasn't, and that's what happened. Tied at 5 now in the third. Roddick with a winner down the line. Brzezinski clearly not the same after that happened. Only won 5 of the final 23 points. Here's match point. It's an ace for Roddick, who wins the battle of the big servers in straight sets. Luke Jensen breaks it down.
This was the showdown. Andy Roddick versus Greg Rusedski in a second-round battle. These guys have been going after each other for a couple of years. Andy Roddick, before Brad Gilbert, was mentally unstable in situations. In the first 2 sets, solid tiebreakers, 7-6, 7-6. Normally, Andy Roddick is kind of shaky mentally, but in the third set, he gets down early, fights his way back, takes it in 3 straight sets. I love the way Brad Gilbert, the new coach, has this guy thinking with X's and O's and then fighting with intensity. He may win this tournament.
Time now, ladies and gentlemen, to get to something that will make you ill if you've ever caught a home run ball, because this, it could have been you.
Yeah, you could have done it. You could have brought the glove, you could have cashed in, or if you wanted badly enough, you could just plunk down $1 million for it right now. Time to sell one really expensive souvenir. Let's head back to NYC and Jeremy Schaap.
Well, guys, as you said, bidding now is only a few moments away. Actually, bidding began online a couple of weeks ago at $100,000. The highest bid now, $200,000. There are 12 registered bidders. Some of them are here in this room as we speak. A few more are joining the auction by the phone. Among those 12 registered bidders, Todd McFarlane. He's in Dallas. You spoke to him earlier. Of course, he's the man who spent $3.1 million for the Mark McGwire's 70th home run ball. No one expects this ball to go for quite that much money, but who knows? Now let's send it up to our auctioneer, Kathy Elkes.
Welcome to Lelands.com auction of Barry Bonds' 73rd home run baseball. And we're live at ESPN Zone. For those of you who have been watching the auction on the internet at www.lelands.com, you know we already have some bids. So I'm going to start the bidding at $200,000 with my internet bidder. At $200,000 now. Any advance at $200,000. It's on the internet at $200,000. Any interest at $200,000? At $200,000, $225,000 is next. At $200,000 now. Any advance at $200,000? At $200,000 now, $225,000. It's on the telephone. At $225,000, telephone bidder now. At $225,000, telephone bidder now. It's back in the room at $250,000. At $250,000 now, it's against you on the telephones at $250,000. At $250,000 now, gentleman's bid. $275,000 on my left at $275,000. At $275,000 against you in the center now. At $275,000. One more. At $275,000. Still against the telephones. It's in the room at $275,000. Any advance? At $300,000. Back on the telephone now at $300,000. Telephone bid against you in the room at $300,000. At $325,000. Back in the room at $325,000. At $325,000 now. At $325,000 against the telephone. Go on. You know you want it. Back on the telephone at $350,000. At $350,000. Still against you. Still against you in the room now, against both bidders at $350,000. Back in the room, $375,000. At $375,000, still the gentleman's bid. He wants it so bad. Back on the telephone, $400,000. At $400,000, still against you. At $400,000, back on the telephone now at $400,000. What's another $25,000? Don't be shy. At $400,000 now. Any advance at $400,000. Telephone bid. It's against you in the room. I love you. Gentleman's bid at $425,000. Back in the gallery at $425,000. At $425,000 now. Anyone else? It's in the zone at $425,000. Still against the telephones. At $425,000 then. Anyone else? Back on the phones, $450,000 against you. At $450,000. Don't look at him. Look at me. At $450,000 now. Any advance at $450,000? Still with the telephone bidder against the room at $450,000. I'll take you to dinner afterwards. Better than that? Okay. Let's see how high you go. At $450,000 now. Any advance at $450,000? Still on the telephones. Don't drop your paddle. At $450,000 then. Anyone else? Last chance, still against you. At $450,000. You're gonna be so sorry in the morning. Give you 31 seconds? I don't think I have 31 seconds. At $450,000 then, telephone bid. Last chance against the room. At $450,000, you're out. Game over for the Barry Bonds 73rd home run ball. Last chance and selling at $450,000 to the phone. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Paddle 05.
All right. Yeah. All right. So basically, I'm still at 450. Okay. Did you hear that?
That's good.
Okay.
All right. So basically, I'll be keeping in touch. Okay.
All right. So we have a winning bid here. It is $450,000. I'm still trying to find out exactly whose bid it was. I understand that it was Todd McFarlane's bid. Do we have Todd? Can Todd hear me? Todd McFarlane, can you hear me? It's Jeremy Schaap in New York.
Hey, Jeremy, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for joining us. Todd, $450,000, considering how much you spent on the Mark McGwire ball, which was 70th, which isn't even a record-breaking ball anymore, or at least not the record-holding ball. Do you consider this a bargain?
Yeah, you know, again, like I said to people, if I could get it a low enough number, then we could amortize the cost. So I knew it would go for a fraction of what the other one did. So relative to what we should be able to do with it, you know, I think we did quite well today.
Why would you spend $450,000 on this ball?
You know what? It's probably a longer answer than we have right here. You know, they asked me. They asked me the same question when I spent $3 million, and I can honestly say that it helped sort of catapult us in our business and the attention we got, and opened up a lot of doors and got us into deals that we might not have got into in terms of the seriousness. And you know, it's tough to sit there and say you got the second best ball. So it just continues the story of now with the Sosa, the McGwire, and the Bonds ball, that we have all three of those balls. And I'll probably make a quick call to the Hall of Fame and see if we can work out a deal with them to put them on display.
So it's going to go to the Hall of Fame immediately, or do you have a plan to send it around the country?
No, the Hall of Fame would probably be my first phone call. We're starting to do some business. You know, I make all the Major League Baseball toys, so we're starting to do some of the retired players. So maybe there's a way to, you know, they give me the contracts and we can finalize that, and I can give them the balls. We can have a little bit of scratch each other back.
Todd, congratulations on your purchase.
Thank you.
That's it from here in New York. Now back to SportsCenter.
Well, Jeremy, thanks a lot. We pulled the money here from the crew, got up to $85.12, got there on the phone, and we just didn't come up with.
Well, and the consolation is that it didn't go for $85.50, because then we would have been really. We would have
gone upstairs to the newsroom. We could have maybe got it done.
Yeah, $450,000, Barry Bonds' 73rd home run ball to Todd McFarlane, who joins his collection of 10 from the '98 home run race. Plenty more SportsCenter here ahead. Coming up with the program, big bats and the race heating up in the AL East, but nobody, and I mean nobody, hotter than the man of 1,000 rituals.
And the Yankee Clipper owns a 56-game hitting streak, but owning one of Joe D's memorable possessions, well, that has nothing at all to do with baseball, but it is part of our top 10.
Oh, but we've worked too long and hard to let a bad market postpone our retirement.
Will you have enough income to maintain your lifestyle?
We've done the proper planning.
Yes. Oh, and Merrill Lynch financial advisors looking beyond 401ks and IRAs to mortgages, insurance.
Protected growth investments.
These days you have to.
Are you confident with Merrill Lynch?
You bet.
Most definitely.
Introducing Total Merrill. We see your financial life in total.
Hundreds of the world's best outdoor athletes.
Oh, what a great run!
23 outdoor events. The 2003 Great Outdoor Games, presented by Dodge. Brought to you by IAMS, July 19th through the 22nd.
Tenzing, the Canine Lifeline, brought to you by Eukanuba. A deadly avalanche.
With the clock ticking, this German Shepherd's heart pumps at full capacity, giving him the drive to save a life. For the strong heart this dog needs, he's fed Eukanuba Large Breed. Its vital health system promotes a healthy, powerful heart by providing it with 7 essential nutrients, a heart that could help keep yours beating as well. Eukanuba, what healthy dogs are made of.
Big Barwin deal is back, and this season, it's serious.
We play a WNBA player, kicking a winning field goal. The tasks are really hard.
Survival skills tested in the world of sports. Big Barwin Deal 2 begins Tuesday, July 8th at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
Can I get another chicken?
Like dial-up? Imagine if everything just suddenly quit.
Right. That's it. I quit.
Unlike dial-up, Comcast high-speed internet doesn't just quit, because it's always on. Best of all, it's now available at a dial-up price.
Voila. Bon appetit.
Waiter?
The sun is out. Good friends are near. You're in God's country. And you're about ready to kill somebody. Right now, somewhere in America, someone's got a grill going. It's the perfect day for it. The fire's rising, grill's nice and hot. And when the meat goes on, it makes a kind of sizzle sound. You know, that one. Fortunately, one of our grills is probably right in your own backyard. Burger King. Come on over. The fire's ready.
Bonus Cuts, brought to you by Burger King. Come on over. The fire's ready at Burger King.
Nomar Garciaparra is positively combustible right now. 3 days after his 6-hit afternoon, he went 5 for 5 last night, scored 3 times in a Bo Sox win. Nomar now hitting .458 over his last 16 games, his average all the way up to .344. Nomar joins Hall of Famers Roberto Clemente, Dave Winfield, as well as Kenny Lofton as the only players with 2 5-hit games in a 4-game span since the expansion era. Now, if there's a downside, it's this. Nomar's 12 hits over the 4-game stretch, all singles, and have produced just 1 RBI.
Nomar has raised his average about 30 points in June. At this pace, he'll be a 400 hitter by September, in which case, someday, one of the bats he uses to hit 400 with might be worth large loot.
Always thinking about the money, are you? Then again, value is purely in the eye of the buyer when it comes to sports collectibles. Our top 10 tonight, a veritable flea market of memorabilia, some rare, some ridiculous, but all paid for. Number 10, at an auction of Cleveland Stadium memorabilia, a Cleveland area nightclub owner paid $2,700 for the toilet that used to sit in Art Modell's old stadium suite. The buyer told the Cleveland Plain dealer he wanted to know where Modell made all of his bad decisions.
At number 9, during a 2002 spring training game, a fan asked a security guard to retrieve a wad of bubble gum D-backs outfielder Luis Gonzalez had been chewing. The gum was then put up for auction on eBay, where it drew a winning bid of $10,000 from a disturbed man in Wisconsin.
At number 8, the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali's trunks from his first fight against Joe Frazier sold for more than $99,000 at an auction. Ali's robe from his third fight with Frazier went for more than $81 grand. Both were purchased by anonymous bidders.
At number 7, the consummate showman Bill Veeck was known for his outrageous promotions, such as Comiskey Park's famed Disco Demolition Night. Veeck also had a fake wooden leg. He would have appreciated the fact that it fetched $8,500 at auction.
Number 6, in 2001, a 1996 Sports Illustrated for Kids Tiger Woods card was auctioned off on eBay. The card was deemed to be the rarest Tiger Woods rookie card by an authenticator. The winning bid came in at a cool $125,000.
At number 5, Ty Cobb. Well, actually not Ty, but his nippers. A West Palm Beach woman gave away the household budget for Cobb's artificial teeth. She could have taken a cruise, bought a nice watch, maybe a fur coat. Instead, she chose to drop nearly $8,000 on the Georgia Peach's dentures.
Number 4, the marriage between Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio was one of the most celebrated ever. It attracted the attention of sports fans, non-sports fans, and at least one well-heeled collector. A wedding band given to Monroe as a gift from DiMaggio after their 1954 nuptials was auctioned off for more than $772,000.
At number 3, despite an otherwise impressive career, Bill Buckner will forever be remembered for the ground ball off the bat of Mookie Wilson that went between his legs in Game 6 of the 1986 World Series. The price for Boston's heartache, $85,000. That's what actor Charlie Sheen paid in 1992 for the ball that squirted through Buckner's wickets.
At number 2, a Honus Wagner baseball card, the Mona Lisa baseball cards, sold on an eBay auction to a businessman for $1.265 million. That is the all-time record price for any trading card.
And at number 1, after Mickey Mantle's death, several personal items from his estate were sold at auction. A lock of Mantle's hair sold for $6,900. A signed American Express card fetched $7,175. And Mantle's expired passport was won with a bid of $9,200. A few other things purchased by folks that might have had more dollars than cents. Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point ball went for over $550,000. The jersey Lou Gehrig wore in his farewell speech, $400,000. OJ's Heisman, $255,000 and change, while a toothpick used by Tom Seaver went for $400 at the same auction. Charlie Sheen won the Buckner ball.
It's just silly.
Yep.
And are you ready for some Al, John, and Lisa? Today, ABC Sports announced Lisa Guerrero is the network's choice to replace Melissa Stark on the sidelines during Monday Night Football games. Guerrero comes to ABC from Fox. She's also acted in commercials and television programs. Melissa's left the show for the birth of her first child in September. Coming up on the program, LaVar Arrington believes he's the second best linebacker in the NFL. He'll tell you who he's got to catch. Coming up on the Budweiser Hot Seat.
SportsCenter's Top 10, brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Go through the boulders in your SUV. Boulders all around you, NJ. With superhuman power, you go through those boulders. If you go through them, you're in the mountains, casually conquering ice and snow. You drive it like a mountain lion. Go, mountain lion. You see the mountain lion? Mm-hmm. You're the quintessential soccer mom, mountain lion. Pick the kids up.
Come on, kids, jump in.
You've never felt more alive. Soccer mom, mountain lion, wearing designer sunglasses.
Better than ever. The WNBA on ESPN2 and ABC Sports.
And now it's all Holyfield. Oh,
you know, for $1 million, I would totally go around with Holyfield. What? What? How bad could it be?
Tell it over a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Look at this. The ring girl likes me.
I've got to have this for Saturday night. What's Saturday?
This is awesome!
You might want to check out these speakers too. They're shorter. Shorter is good. Yeah.
Thousands of possibilities. Get yours. Best Buy.
McDonald's new McGriddles. Crisp bacon, fluffy egg, and melted cheese. Sandwiched between two griddle cakes with the taste of maple syrup baked right in. Honey, you ever seen anything so bizarre? Honey?
No, I haven't.
Introducing new McGriddles. They're bizarre, but they're yummy.
Who's your sensei?
LaVar Arrington, welcome to the Budweiser Hot Seat.
Oh, glad to be here.
Let's get right to it.
All right.
You seem to play the game angry. Are you angry when you set foot on a football field?
Yeah, I keep a healthy chip on my shoulder.
Who are you angry at?
You know, I'm angry at every opposing player on that field.
What makes you angry?
The fact that if I don't get them, they'll get me.
Are you thinking when you're out there, I want to hurt somebody?
No, I don't want to hurt them. I want to dominate them.
Now let's do some name association. I'll mention a name. You tell me the first thought that jumps into your mind. Muhammad Ali.
Greatest ever.
Bruce Smith.
Greatest ever.
Darryl Green.
Pillar.
Marty Schottenheimer.
My guy.
Steve Spurrier.
My guy.
Marvin Lewis.
Good luck.
Dan Snyder.
My guy.
What's the one thing you can tell me about Dan Snyder that I won't believe?
He's actually a good guy.
All right, let's go one-on-one. Who do you like, Keyshawn or T.O.?
T.O.
Kobe or T-Mac?
Plead the fifth.
I got to get one out of you.
Oh, my God. I got to go with Kobe because he's got more championships.
Bonds or A-Rod?
Bond.
Vic or McNabb?
Oh. Mick Vick. Does that count?
Can you run either of those guys down from behind?
Oh, man. I can run anybody down from behind.
One more one-on-one. Venus or Serena?
Serena.
Who's the best linebacker in the National Football League?
Present?
Yep.
Ray Lewis.
Better than LaVar Arrington?
Well, I got to get to where he's at. He's the bar setter right now. He's setting the bar.
What will it take for you to get where he's at?
Time, consistency, longevity.
LaVar Arrington, you are off the Budweiser Hot Seat.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
The Budweiser Hot Seat, brought to you by Budweiser. Delivering beer at its best with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers.
LaVar was very interesting. Very interesting. Also interesting, the Bonds home run ball. When we come back, we'll hear from the men who split the loot of the Barry Bonds home run ball.
Where'd you get that shirt? It's huge.
It was my old boyfriend's.
It must have been huge.
He was.
Why don't you change into one of mine?
Nah, yours are kind of small.
So?
Well, small ones are okay. Huge ones just feel better. You have the tiniest little hands.
The reason we race is simple. It's where we get a lot of our best ideas.
There's one tournament where the competition isn't among men and women, but rather gentlemen and ladies. And the tradition of 125 years makes this slam the grandest of them all. Wimbledon 2003 continues tomorrow on ESPN2.
This summer, we're coming to play, bringing our A game, rising to the occasion, stepping up to the next level. The best events of the summer, all in one place, on ESPN. Coming live to the Fowlerville Fair. Jars of Clay, Saturday night, July 12th.
with 10 shekel shirt and Jeremy Camp. Then get ready to laugh with Gallagher. July 13th, then one of country's hottest. Martina McBride, July 14th, special guest Phil Vassar. And July 15th, get ready to rock with Alice Cooper. Tickets for all shows at Fowlerville Fair are on sale now. It's an evening with Santana. The multi-Grammy Award winner is coming. July 1st at DTE Energy Music Theater. The constantly evolving style of Santana, featuring special guest Angelique Kidjo. Tickets are on sale now. Part of the Miller Lite Concert Series at DTE Energy Music Theater. An evening with Santana.
This is Barry Bonds' 73rd home run ball. Todd McFarlane has agreed to pay $450,000 to buy it. Jeremy Schaap now with two men who prove that sometimes it pays to be a sports fan.
The ball they owned for almost 2 years is now in the possession, or will soon be in the possession, of Todd McFarlane, whose total winning bid of $517,500 gets him Barry Bonds' 73rd home run ball. Alex Popov, what are your thoughts about the money that Todd McFarlane spent on this ball?
Well, I think it's something that now he has a complete collection, and if that's that's what the market bears, that's what the market bears. And I'm glad that it went to somebody that will probably display the ball to the public.
You two, I understand, will split $450,000. That's the price before commission, so you'll each come away with $225,000 approximately. Patrick, did you expect this to go for more?
It's hard to say. I mean, it's unpredictable. I mean, that's the market rate that the bidders thought it was. And, you know, I have to congratulate Todd McFarlane. I mean, he has a great collection. I mean, he's going to, hopefully he does a tour with his collection and that everybody can see the Barry Bonds baseball.
There was so much acrimony between the two of you during some of this process. What are your thoughts now about each other, Alex?
Well, it's as I've said before, I think that Patrick and I saw eye to eye. We're part of this baseball history story, and you know, I think it's fine. If we can catch a ball game or play some golf in the future, that'd be great.
For a long time, you didn't see eye to eye, Patrick. What do you think of Alex?
Well, that was during the trial process, and once the decision was made, you know, we took the lawyers out of the picture, and we were able to communicate one-on-one, and we found a lot of similarities. So I think, you know, the story's not going to end here. I mean, obviously, Todd McFarlane is going to take it forward. We might be involved in maybe some of that process, but every time the home run record comes up, we're going to be named. So that's something special, I think.
Alex, what does it mean to you that the ball is going to Todd McFarlane, who says he plans to tour the ball around the country and also give it to the Hall of Fame?
It's an important component because he has other significant baseballs. So this way, fans can see the complete picture. Sammy Sosa's ball, 66, McGuire's 70th, and now Bond's 73rd. So I think it's great. I hope that it goes on tour to all the major cities and all the major ballparks, and maybe I'll see it come back again my way in San Francisco.
Alex Popov, Patrick Hayashi, two men who just made $225,000 each. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
Congrats all around. Well, the other shoe has dropped like Paul Wilson for that Cubs-Reds fight last week. Major League Baseball gave Wilson a 5-game suspension for throwing at Moises Alou and then charging the mound. Kyle Farnsworth got 3 games for planting Wilson. Both men also fined. Speaking of the Reds, Ken Griffey Jr. shares a birthday and a spot on the all-time home run list with Stan Musial. He could pass Stan the Man in his city tonight. Reds and Cards at the top of the hour.
Stay tuned, because here's what's ahead on ESPN tonight. Next, Wednesday Night Baseball as the Reds take on the Cardinals, followed by the NBA Draft Special. Then SportsCenter and OTL Nightly on ESPN tonight.
They out there with the fun out there. We gonna hit out there with nothing to fear. Tear up the spot, get hot to make it rock. Always start here with the clear. Number 1, you gotta get with your real ones. 2, what you do is pop a couple of clear ones. Number 3, call up a breezy. 4, on the floor, maintain the high score. 5, feeling alive, we jump into the ride, which brings us to 6 at the venue in the mix. They out there with the fun out there, make it last out there. Always start with the clear.
Introducing TGI Fridays Summer Salads. New strawberry feels, zesty Southwest Caesar, or Friday's favorite pecan-crusted chicken.
What I like about you.
Hurry in, because summer never tasted so good.
This summer, be the first to be exposed.
Something in the blood.
To the only movie that's scary as hell. 28 Days Later, rated R. Starts Friday, only in theaters.
SportsCenter, brought to you by Zima. Fresh, clear, start here.
Barry Bonds' 73rd home run ball sold for $450,000 right here live on ESPN.
Less than half of what we expected the ball might go for, but still a big day for the industry. Our closing number tonight, over $100 million generated annually from high-end sports memorabilia auctions. This, according to our friend Joe Orlando at PSA.
Love Joe Orlando.
Sure we do. Coming up next on ESPN2, Phillies and Braves from Atlanta.
And on ESPN, it's the Reds and the Cardinals. For Matt, I'm Scott. We'll see you. Adios.